Hi, everybody. My name's Lisa Keslar from Keslar Insurance, and I'm here today for Cheers for Charity New Hampshire. And as usual, I get the privilege of saying hello to my good friend, JoAnn Burchuk.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you. Yeah, I'm JoAnn Burchuk. I'm with Lighthouse Physical Therapy. And today our guest is Kristyn, and she is with the Key Collective. Kristyn, we're looking forward to hearing all about your organization. So feel free to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what your organization does.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm really excited to be here and share our story. My name is Kristyn LaFleur. I am the Executive Director for the Key Collective, Key standing for Key to Empowering Youth. We are a nonprofit with a grassroots beginning, and we are now in our fourth year. Our first program, which is called the RUN card, was made possible by a small grant given by Exeter Hospital in 2017 as part of their suicide prevention work within the Seacoast region. The RUN card provides our most vulnerable youth the opportunity to participate in out-of-school programs and activities for free or at a reduced cost with no social stigma attached. The way we do that is we offer the card to economically disadvantaged K through 12 students through three different avenues. One is the free and reduced lunch program. The other is through the Medicaid program. And then the third is through qualified and approved validators throughout our region. So that might be a school nurse, a social worker, it could be a doctor's office, a church, social services. So, there's different avenues to be able to come in that way as well. After a student signs up and receives their card, they can then use the card to enroll in various programs throughout our community. So some of the partners that we have currently are the Exeter Area YMCA. We have multiple Parks and Rec, Girls on the Run, and various youth sport associations. But there are plenty more which can be found on our website. The great part is that there's really no need for any of these kids to fill out paperwork or provide financial information each and every time they're interested in a program or activity, because by having that card, they've already pre-qualified for any types of scholarships that are being provided. We currently offer the RUN card program in Exeter, Hampton, and Seabrook areas, and we're just starting to roll the program out in the Portsmouth area. We'll continue to focus building up these areas before we eventually, hopefully, expand into the rest of the state. To date, we have mainly partnered with sports-based organizations, and that's really because so many of these organizations already have scholarship funds available. But we realize that all youth, their passion may not be sports. It may be dance, art, music, karate, you name it. So what we're doing next is we're rolling out a scholarship program where the Key Collective itself would provide RUN card members up to $200 for an out-of-school activity or program that's offered through what's typically a small business-owned organization. So that way, we can assist with that scholarship piece as well. We think this is going to be a great addition to our program, not only because it's going to bring much needed programming to our youth, but it'll also help support our small businesses. So we really like that part of it. And really, lastly, we just believe now more than ever that these out-of-school programs and experiences are critical to our youth's mental and physical well-being, especially this segment of youth. We want them to have easy access to all the same opportunities that their peers have, without the added stigma of having to ask each and every time they're interested in a program. And you never know, just one time, one exposure could really, ignite a passion into something they didn't know they had before.
Oh, absolutely. That is so fantastic. And I'm sure for these kids that do require a little financial assistance to have to go through all of the paperwork for both the child and the family, it gets embarrassing, or, they feel like they want to provide and they have to go through all these hoops to be able to get things for their children. So, this is such a great organization to help kind of streamline the process. You do it once, and as long as you have that card, it provides a lot of value for the kids and opportunities for them to participate in things that they probably wouldn't have been able to in the past. Now, like talking the sports area, is there also some means if equipment is required to try to help them, gain access to those type of supplies also?
Absolutely. No, that's a great question. And even just going back to something you said earlier, one of the big things we found, if I can just step back for a second, is that so many of these families, they're so focused on getting that next meal on the table, or, making sure they have clothes for their kids. Like, they don't even realize that there's these opportunities out there for them. So I've had, many parents come and say, oh, because of your program, my child now plays softball and loves it. Or my child is, going and doing programming at the YMCA. And, there were these opportunities were actually there, but this just gives them it. They don't have to think about it. It's easy. It's right in front of them, and they know where those opportunities are. So it's kind of that added benefit, I think. But in terms of equipment and all of that, that's where we really see after this scholarship phase, is being able to say, okay, not only can we assist with just programming, but if a child needs, artist materials, or if they need a pair of cleats or a uniform. Thankfully, right now, with all of the youth organizations that we work with, they all are pretty generous, and they have a lot of that assistance already built in. So to this point, we've already, we've been able to connect people to that piece, but we hope to also provide assistance as well as we get further down the road.
Yeah, that's great. So needed by the kids, they want to play it and they need help. So that's awesome that is available as well. What type of help are you looking for from the community? What would be beneficial for you?
Yeah, I think, thanks for asking. I think that right now our biggest thing is just getting our story out there. As I mentioned, we're grassroots. We piloted in the Exeter School District our first year. Second year rolled out into the smaller of the Hampton school districts. We're still building up partnerships. So I think, any organization that offers programs and activities, like we would love for you to reach out. We would love to partner with as many people as possible and offer as many activities as possible. So that's a big piece. Making sure we're getting to a lot of the youth. The way kids find out about us up until today was at the beginning of the school year, when that free and reduced acceptance letter would go out, a letter about our program would go out too. But we realize not all parents open those packages of paperwork at the beginning of every school year. And so we're missing some kids. And that's why we added in the Medicaid criteria, just because so many of our social services, doctors' offices, they have exposure to those families, so they can get that information out there too. So I just think, spreading the word and just letting, families know that we're here. And then obviously just having, just that community support, whether it's through donations or just helping us get our story out there.
Right. Well, hopefully this will help.
Yes, no, I appreciate it.
But so you had already expressed that you're going to be moving into other communities, you're going to be trying to expand into other programs. Are you doing art programs now too, or is it pretty much just sports right now and you're getting into like arts and music maybe? Or
Yeah, so right now we are mostly sports. We also are connected with multiple park and recreation departments. So then you do find a lot of other programming under those umbrellas as well, beyond sports. And then Exeter YMCA, they have, a great opportunity for kids that have the RUN card. And, when they go and they become a member and have access to all of that programming too. So we do have a lot of that. But what we find is just a lot of these music and art programs are typically small business owned, right? So as we've grown as an organization and weren't able to provide that funding, and now we're starting to position ourselves where we can now partner with some of these small business owned and actually put dollars towards kids having that. So I very much look forward to bringing in the arts and music and dance and all that kind of great stuff.
That's amazing. It's just so much going on and such great resources for students and to keep them involved and healthy and with their peers. And how is that all impacted around COVID? Like,
Yeah, no, it's been a rough year. As a nonprofit that still is fairly new, I would say right before the pandemic hit, we were really on a trajectory. Like we were just starting to get into that Portsmouth area. We were starting to really build up partners. We had some really good momentum. And then literally everything stopped. I mean, our kids were out of school and all of these programs completely ended. Um, and then since then, over time, it's slowly gotten better. Like, fall, still kids were in school, but a little bit after that, some kids were in the school. And, we really rely on these validators, right, to have eyes on our kids. So
mm,
they were able to start pushing kids in through the system. It was hard too because free and reduced lunch was available to everybody.
mhm.
So a lot of our typical families weren't taking advantage of the card this past year. But I will say in the last month, I've had a flurry of activity. I've had a bunch of requests for the RUN card. I've been speaking with our partners. They're back to full programming. So I really see good things ahead. And I really feel like going into this next school year, we're going to really be doing record level activity and membership. So I'm really excited for that.
That's awesome. So lots of good information in the past few minutes, but if people still want to learn more, if people want to, get involved, donate, spend some time, or maybe they know someone who needs to be part of the program, how do we do that? How do they
Yep.
get more information?
Yeah, easiest way is to go to our website, which is keycollective.org. And there you can literally do all of it. There is a section that says get your card, and you can sign up for a card right there and then. There's another section that says how, can I help support? And there's a donation section. There's a section about corporate sponsorships. And then, about becoming a partner. And all my contact information is on there as well. So we just want to keep getting that word out.
Awesome. All right, fantastic. Well, Kristen, thank you so much for spending all this time with us, giving us all this really helpful information. We're excited to get the word out about your organization and the good work that you're doing. So thank you for all of it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.